A new bill filed in Washington state yesterday is giving off really weird, like Civil War ish vibes. It's about militia and giving certain powers to the governor. Very interesting. So, we're going to dig into this bill today. Hey there, I'm Julie Barrett. I'm the founder of Conservative Ladies of America and Conservative Ladies of Washington, and I'm back again with another bill of the day. Now, I want to preface this video to let you guys know that this is really a lot of opinion from me and speculation. As I've mentioned before, I don't have some degree in public policy. I'm no policy expert. I just read bills. I've learned a lot by being self taught and working with a variety of different legislators and learning how to read bills. And this one in particular, I'm not exactly certain on the legal end of it, but just want to give you my 2 cents on it, kind of my take on it, and where I think this bill is going. I would love to hear from you in the comments what your take on this is. And do you agree with me? Do you think this bill is trying to go somewhere else? Let me know. Okay, so this is Washington State House Bill 1321. It is an act relating to the governor's authority to limit outside militia activities within the state, adding a new section to Chapter 38.80 of the RCWs and declaring an emergency. So, a couple of things when there's an emergency clause on a bill. The emergency clause means that the bill is enacted right away upon signing. So, as soon as it passes out of both chambers of the legislature and is signed into law by the governor, it's effective that same day. The other thing is there's no ability for the citizens to do a referendum on such a bill. So that's always something to keep in mind when there's a bill with an emergency clause. What's the emergency? Why do they want to force this through with no ability for the citizens to come back and take action against it? This is a short bill, it's a one pager. So let's take a look at this new section. The new section reads: a militia from another state may not enter the state to enforce state or federal laws without the written authorization of the governor or a federal call to service pursuant to RCW 38.08.010. The governor may withdraw a previously granted authorization at any time, including any compact or agreement pursuant to RCW 38.08.100, immediately after receiving written notice of withdrawal or denial of entry. The militia must cease its activities and leave the state. Section 2, this is a new section. This act is necessary for the immediate preservation of the public peace, health, or safety, or support of the state government and its existing public institutions, and takes effect immediately. When I saw this bill yesterday, I posted it on my X account, and a lot of people that were engaging with the post were thinking that this might be like citizen militia groups. Citizen militia groups, maybe people that, train with firearms together, groups of people that are training for disaster situations, safety situations, that kind of thing. I don't take it to be that way. I believe this is a direct response to Trump's planned immigration policies. And we're seeing in states like Florida, where I live, Governor DeSantis has called for a special session of the legislature to prepare the policies in the state of Florida to be able to cooperate with the Trump administration in the deportation of illegal immigrants. We're seeing that in Idaho, Texas, and several other states. And then in Washington, we already know because Bob Ferguson said a couple months ago that they were preparing to fight the Trump administration on the Trump policies that go against the policies of Washington state Democrats. And one of those is, well, Washington's a sanctuary state. So obviously, deporting illegal immigrants is not something that the Democrats in Washington state want to participate in helping with. And they will do everything that they can to protect as many illegal immigrants as they possibly can. In 2017, then Attorney General Bob Ferguson filed a lawsuit against President Trump's executive order on immigration.
The lawsuit being filed here in Seattle at the federal courthouse in the Western District of Washington. It'll be filed later today. A copy will be available on our website immediately upon filing. The lawsuit is straightforward. It asks the court to declare key provisions of President Trump's executive order on immigration unconstitutional. I want to be very clear about this lawsuit. For the past few days, there have been lawsuits filed on behalf of certain individuals across the country who have been impacted by President Trump's executive order. And as you've heard, for example, those have been filed on behalf of folks who have been detained at airports across our country. This lawsuit is different and broader in scope. It seeks to have key provisions of that executive order declared illegal and unconstitutional. In other words, if successful, this would have the effect of invalidating the president's unlawful action nationwide.
I think it's pretty clear for us to see how Bob Ferguson feels about Trump and his immigration policies. And Bob Ferguson is very willing to go head to head and challenge the Trump administration at all costs and whatever it takes. So I believe it is my opinion that this particular bill is in response to these policies and gives the governor, who as of today, January 15th, will be Bob Ferguson. This gives Bob Ferguson more power to say, you can't send people into our state, maybe to override some of the federal policies and some of the actions that might be taken by the Trump administration. So that's my take on it. I think it's a really bad law. I think you have power-hungry Democrats in the state of Washington that are willing to do whatever they need to do to fight to keep their policies, which are very radical, very extreme, and very anti-American. There's a lot of people saying, well, Trump and Tom Homan, they're all coming to Washington and they're going to show Bob Ferguson. I don't see it that way. And it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But I do believe that the Trump administration and Tom Homan and the ICE people are going to go for the low-hanging fruit. They're going to go to states like Texas, Arizona, Florida, where they have cooperation from the state government to help them remove these illegal immigrants. I think they're going to start there. I don't think they're going to choose to battle with blue states like California, Oregon, and Washington. So it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. I'm going to link this bill in the description for you so you can go read it for yourself. Like I said, it's just a quick little one-pager, but I really would be curious, what's your take on this bill? Where do you think Ferguson is going with this bill? I'd love to hear from you. So please weigh in on this. And as always, we will keep you up to date as this bill moves through the legislative process so that you can take action and sign in, register your position, pro or con. Hopefully you'll be con on this when it goes to a public hearing. And I would really encourage you, people are needed, citizens are needed to testify on this legislation as it moves through the legislative process. We're already seeing in just the first couple of days that there aren't enough citizens opposing some of these bad bills. Sometimes there's none. Sometimes it's only one person from our team or from somewhere else. And citizens are needed, and you can do it on Zoom. So if you're interested in doing that, please reach out. All the contact information is below. Now, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Turn those notifications on because many of our videos will be time sensitive as we continue to move through the Washington session and other states as well. We'll have some other state legislation to tell you about as we move further into 2025. Please share this video far and wide and let other citizens know what is going on. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for engaging. And I look forward to chatting with you again next time.